Hello, hello, and welcome. I am so happy you are here today. Whether you are listening at home, at work, on the go, I am just so grateful that you are here to share in the conversation with me. So we are already into the month of April, which is crazy to think that this is our fourth month already of the year. It seems every month that goes by just continues to go faster and faster. So yes, I'm grateful to have another month. And I'm extremely grateful for this month being this year anyway, that it's Easter in April and we're able to celebrate that Jesus is alive, that he rose from the dead. And don't forget, he died for you. He died for me. He died for every sinner. And all he wants is to have a relationship with us, for us to believe in him, to walk that life with him, to have our faith in him, our hope, our trust, use him, to guide us, and just have that eternal life. That every sinner, does not matter how far away you think you may have strayed, he really longs to have that relationship. So that's one challenge I'll give you this month, is to understand that, get closer to him, build a relationship with him, and come to know him and trust him and accept him into your heart. So last month we talked about the 5 love languages. I challenged you to go through the quiz, or at least be familiar with them, do some self-reflection, figure out which language is your primary language, or maybe you have a couple of them. And then I also challenged you to share that with someone else special in your life, and for them to also identify those languages, and then for y'all to communicate with each other and just share what your languages are, and start putting into practice small things that you could do to help each other, fill the love bucket and show that you respect each other and show that you care about each other, and then help each other feel loved and valued. So I really hope you did that. If you didn't, go back and check it out, listen to that podcast, and then go ahead and do it. Do the exercise, and it will really, really help you grow close. It doesn't have to be just with, a spouse. It can be with family members. It can be with parents, grandparents, somebody at work, anyone who's important to you, who matters, that you need a good relationship with. You can do it. And each of you can learn about each other and then put practices in place to grow the relationship. So this month, I actually recently lost a very, very dear friend, very unexpectedly. And although I'll never understand why someone is taken so young, I have to accept it. It is what the new normal is now. I can't even imagine what the family is going through, and I obviously pray for peace and comfort for them. I'm seeking the same for me, for anyone who knew him, who, worked with him, loved him, had a close friendship with him. Just everyone's struggling. And that got me thinking about, how do we really get through it? Absolutely, using prayer and Jesus and the Bible helps me get through that. But also, it got me thinking about the core values. What is it that I want remembered? You've heard me talk about the Dash poem. And so when it is my time to die and someone's reading my eulogy, how will they remember me for the life I lived in that dash, the time period between when I was born and when I died? And so that got me thinking again about the core values, and what do I really believe, and what do I hope people know about me, and what legacy am I leaving? So I thought this month I could do a little episode on core values. What are they? Why are they important? What are some key ones that we could put into our daily lives that would help us as we encounter curveballs, as we go through difficult situations, or just as we want to live and have a happy life day in and day out? Our theme for the year is having a happy day, a better day than a day before, right? And finding those small wins, and taking those baby steps to get happiness, so that at the end of the year, you truly do have a happy new year. This is another good way to do it. So as I was working through that, I came across an article on lifehack.org, and it actually talked about 31 core values that it recommended. um, are good for our lives. So I'll go through that article. I'll read that so we can go through what those values are, and then we'll wrap it up at the end with a challenge to you for this month. So this article talks about how core values guide your decisions through most difficult moments. It covers what you believe are important and how you live and how you work. Core values also provide you with a sense of stability, direction, peace of mind. But it also goes on here to say it's just as important to be a receiver of those core values than to just make sure you're always living. So that reminded me of the love languages. You can communicate all day long, I need these types of things in my life to feel loved. But if someone's not actually doing those things and giving those things to you, or if you're not doing them for yourself, then you're not really being authentic and true to yourself. So same thing with core values. It's important that you also receive things that are important to you. This also says discovering your core values. They don't always have to help with huge aspects of your life because they can also impact somewhat seemingly small aspects of your life are. And just a couple of examples, it says adaptability, awareness, and acceptance are powerful core values when you're dealing with life's unexpected changes, similar to what I just referenced I'm working through. But also creativity, innovation, and leadership offer you a compass for making life's decisions. So it's where are you? Where do you want to go? How do you want to live? And then making sure that you're being true to those. So real quick, just to give you why they are important, what this article talks about. They're important because they help you lead the amazing life you want, no matter where you find yourself in the world. But not only that, having the right core values can improve your decision-making, your productivity, your achievements, but also your ability to love and be loved. And yes, we're on a self-love theme right now, so I thought that tied in very well. So core values, they're kind of a big deal. It's not just this article saying that. There's a whole lot of other articles and studies out there. So if you want to Google it, I definitely do that so you can understand too how values really can impact your day-to-day life and the decisions that you make every day. This also goes on to say when you can identify your values and make choices that align with them, life suddenly seems to become a little easier. But if you're running on autopilot and if you're not allowing your values to coincide with your choices, you may find yourself then becoming unhappy and you may not even know why. If you just feel like you're kind of stuck or if you're in a funk every now and then, just start reflecting on, has something changed recently? And are you making choices that align with who you are and what you hold dear, at the center of you? So we'll go through the 31 best core values that this article says that we need to consider. And one of my challenges is reflect on this, take some notes as we're going through it, and then figure out which ones you think might represent you the best. So the first one is acceptance. Accept what you can control and what you cannot control. Understand that on some days you are the hammer and on other days you are the nail. With acceptance as a core value, you can build either way and be happy. It also can help you love all parts of yourself, accepting your flaws and everything. And then practicing acceptance also helps you become more compassionate towards yourself, but as well as towards others. All right, the second one is adaptability. Life is going to throw you curveball after curveball, and if you are not ready for them, you are going to strike out. Your life and the life of those you surround yourself with are far too complex to confine yourself to just one mold. So be adaptable, ready, and willing to change when you need to. Don't be afraid to change depending on the situation that is thrown at you, because when you adapt, you will become able and ready to take on those challenges. The third one is awareness. It's one of the best core values you can adopt, according to this article. It's the foundation of a strong character. It helps you understand who you are and what you can offer others. It means paying attention to yourself, paying attention to others, paying attention to the world around you, to emotions, to situations, literally seeing everyone and everything clearly, but most importantly, yourself. And it talks about one way to build awareness is to try meditation. Just start focusing on simple things, kind of like breathing, how tense your body is. We've done this before with stretching our neck and our shoulders and just focusing on us. And this talks about how meditation can really help you just work through when you're feeling stress, or if you just feel like you're caught up in a rat race and you have mundane tasks to take care of. The fourth core value is balance. There are going to be times when you need to sprint in life and other times when you are going to need to slow down. This is what they call the yin and the yang. Balance is one of the most important values in many ancient cultures because it reflects nature for what it truly is, perfectly balanced and able to bend rather than to break. Number 5, calmness. As well as being a sublime state of mind, many people forget that calm is a simple decision to make. You can be calm in any situation if you allow yourself to be. So no amount of angry drivers, long lines, or frustrating technology can penetrate you when you truly adopt calmness as that core value. Again, though, that takes a lot of practice, right? So the secret is to make a conscious decision to avoid lashing out when things don't go your way. And this reminds me recently of some advice a friend of mine gave me. I have 2 small children, so obviously at times it can be very frustrating. But when you're in the moment and something's not going right, and feel like you just want to lose your temper, or just have a reaction, just think about if that was your last moment with whatever person is in front of you, is that how you would want to be remembered? Because oftentimes some of those last interactions are the memories that someone instantly comes to mind. And so it definitely allowed me to practice that calm, to take the breath, to think about what are you about to do? What are you about to say? Is there a better way to get to the solution you're looking for? So keep that in mind too. Number 6 is community. Every one of us is a social creature, whether we believe it or not, and community has been a key core value for thousands of years. We are hardwired to socialize, to eat, drink, gossip, laugh, tell stories, share ideas, give and receive amongst ourselves. Community also enhances the effect of other core values, such as creativity, that we'll talk through. Also, forging friendships help enable us to have someone to lean on when the times get tough. But most importantly, being part of a community can help you become more empathetic to other people when they're also having tough times. Which leads to our number 7, compassion. Compassion is taking the time to understand the suffering of others and hopefully being able to do something about it. There is a lot of struggle and suffering in this world. And when you have a value like compassion, you just might be able to help someone out in a very meaningful way. Number 8, creativity. Technology is taking most of administrative jobs. Creativity in people is definitely helping us go into the future. So when you do cherish creativity, you're thinking up new and big ideas, you're seeing things that other people can't, and you're seeing the world around you through your own eyes and not just what someone else sees. Number 9 is discipline. Discipline will lead you to the life you want. This is a quote, discipline equals freedom. I don't know if you've heard that. It's a term popularized by ex-Navy SEAL Jocko Willink. And what it means is that if you can be disciplined in the right things, you will be free in the right things too. Empathy is number 10. There is perhaps no greater value on this list that will connect you deeper to not just the closest people in your life, but to strangers too. Practicing empathy requires the understanding that other people have a nagging voice in their heads, just like you do, and that they have a worldview different. Oops, sorry, I lost my place here. They have a worldview different from yours based on their experiences, and that's okay. It's not easy to adopt empathy, but it is certainly worth it. You must be able to put yourself in someone else's shoes if you're going to have that, so that you can understand the why behind what someone is choosing to do. All right, number 11 is freedom. It comes in many forms, and that is why it's one of the ultimate core values. This includes the freedom to choose, freedom to speak, freedom to live on your terms, and freedom to love and be loved. Number 12 is gratitude. It provides a powerful perspective whenever you feel yourself getting into a rut. We have talked about gratitude so many times before, and I truly hope you do some gratitude exercises as we go through this year. But this talks about having gratitude will ensure that you don't take anything for granted. You can become grateful for big things like having shelter, food, and great people in your life, but you can also become grateful for small things like a cup of coffee or soft sheets in your bed. It's important because it helps you relish experiences, improve your health, deal with challenges, build relationships, and feel positive emotions, which also helps guide your decision making and really helps you realize how unimportant superficial things like money and status are. That's really not what it's all about. So number 13, happiness. Happiness is a powerful core value and is not just restricted to your own happiness, but also to your friends and family. And when it guides your decision making, you find yourself in a much more satisfying position than if you're chasing someone else's ideas of what happiness is. Number 14, health. They say that a healthy man has a lot of dreams and wishes, whereas a sick man only has one. Health is the precursor to every other core value on this list. If you don't have your health, you can't do much else until you do. So because of this, health has to be a core value in your life. That includes eating healthy, exercising, resting, moving, anything to just keep your body and your mind as healthy as it can be. Number 15 is humility. It's the antidote to arrogance and selfishness, and it's a value to adopt if you want to keep your feet firmly on the ground. It is said that you are never as good or as bad as people say you are. Humility recognizes this and keeps you moving towards your goals, no matter what anyone else says. Number 16 is innovation. The act of innovation involves taking one existing thing and making it better. Simply seeing something small and making it better in your own life is enough to make a difference. So use this value to look at things from a new perspective. For example, if you have a ton of discarded papers at home, you can use them to make paper mache vases that you can then give away to friends and family. So looking for something useful to do. All right, number 17, knowledge. Knowledge is power. I know you've heard that before, but not power in the medieval banker sense, but in the power to change your life. Knowledge about yourself, about others, and even the world allows you to understand everything that you see a bit better. And when you see things for what they are, you can act accordingly and get to where you want to be. Leadership. It takes guts, determination, confidence, and humility to lead. All of these are rare and admirable and are the reasons why leadership is an excellent core value. When you become a leader, you not only help yourself succeed, but you're helping other people as well. You serve as their guide, especially if they need help directing efforts, or resources or focus with something more that they're working on. But by giving yourself and others purpose, direction, and clarity, you're also serving as an inspiration. Number 19 is love. It can be argued that all of the core values on this list can be tied together, by the one all-encompassing value of love. And when you value love deeply and try to show it in everything you do, you make your world and the world of others a much better place. So again, if you haven't done it, take the love languages challenge from last month and figure out what you need and what those closest to you need as well. All right, number 20 is moderation. Whether it's dieting, overworking, or even eating your favorite foods, keep in mind that moderation is key. Not having moderation can have damaging consequences, especially on your health. And we just talked about being healthy. But yes, have a slice of your favorite cake, buy yourself the shoes you want, go on the vacation. Just don't be excessive about it. Don't end up swallowing more than you can chew, or you might have feelings of regret. Okay, number 21 is peace. It's another core value that takes years of practice to perfect. However, its rewards are boundless, with both the journey and the destination full of rewards. Many people think of peace as a situation where there is no conflict of any kind. However, that's not what peace is all about. Peace is all about having tranquil peace of mind. It's about staying calm and grounded even when you face adversities. What do we talk about at the beginning of this? This is why this article is so great for me, because I definitely need calm and peace and comfort right now. All right, number 22 is purpose. This says purpose can be doubled up with meaning, as these are two values that provide the drive in any endeavor that you might pursue. Purpose gets you out of bed every morning. It's why you sacrifice what you sacrifice, and often entails something bigger than yourself. If you don't have a purpose, it is unlikely that you will find much meaning in your life. So it's important to acknowledge that your purpose can change over time. Your priorities, your view of the world, those things are not constant, right? As things change, those things change. So don't worry if your purpose also changes. Let it adapt, let it evolve. Just know what is important to you and stay true to that. Number 23 is responsibility. And nobody likes having to take the dog on a walk, having to clean the dishes, or do things that they are reluctantly responsible for. However, responsibility can be an awesome way to add meaning and value to your life. When other people depend on you and you fulfill your role as that provider, not only are they better off, but you get the satisfaction that comes along with it too. So you're holding yourself accountable for something that impacts the people you love, but it also means that you're being responsible for your own happiness and fulfillment, which is similar to number 24, service. When you adopt service as a core value, you will have very little time to wallow in self-pity or anxiety or any kind of angst, because you're busy making the world a better place. So by serving others, many people find that they are internally served with feelings of satisfaction and contentment. And that makes all the service that much more worthwhile, simply because you're helping others and you're helping yourself too. Number 25 is spirituality. Of course, there is the importance of physical health, mental health, and emotional health. And spiritual health is also of value. Spirituality has nothing to do with religion. It simply means taking the time to listen to your body, to watch your thoughts, to connect with and appreciate the world and the universe that you find yourself in. And when you prioritize being spiritual, you are constantly in search of that deeper meaning that also helps you get to your purpose. Number 26 is trust. It is a core value because it requires many other difficult skills that help develop you as a person. To be able to trust and be trusted, you need strong relationships, a little bit of risk, a healthy dose of vulnerability, and of course, humility. All of this is the recipe for a very positive life that keeps trust at the center. And when you do have that, you enjoy a sense of safety, allowing you to rely on others as well as yourself to do the right thing. Number 27 is understanding. This comes from a place of acceptance of what is, not what should be or could be. Like I mentioned earlier, I will never understand the situation that a lot of us are facing right now. But we are accepting it and we're moving forward. So understanding is the ability to recognize someone else's viewpoint without trying to change it. It's learning that it is useless to fight against the way the world and other people, what they see, and instead you're learning to dance with them. It helps you respond better to a variety of situations and helps you look at problems with a perspective that helps instead of judges. All right, number 28 is wealth, not in the monetary sense, but in the quote unquote, having everything that you need sense. Someone who is truly wealthy possesses great relationships, plenty of freedom, a life filled with joy, as well as many of the other values on the list. So adopting wealth as a core value can act as a magnet to other incredible things. Number 29 is patience. Lost in the chaos and shuffle of our go, 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 our hyper-achievement focused society, patience comes to the top of the list. We want it all and we want it now, but life doesn't always work that way. So while you certainly have some quick wins and successes, that's not the norm. So patience doesn't mean just sitting around and waiting for your success to find you. The joy is in the journey, and patience is a necessary part of crafting a life you love. When you mix patience with a calculated action, you set yourself up for great amounts of happiness and success. All right, two more. Number 30 is integrity. It's when you do the right thing, even when you're not being watched. It's being consistent and honest in your beliefs and in your decision-making. Having a strong level of integrity means you have a sense of character, you're trustworthy, and you're honest. These help build your reputation as a dependable person, which also helps you have greater levels of success and happiness in your life. And number 31 is curiosity. For life in general, the value of curiosity is something important to creating a life of happiness and success. Curiosity sparks creativity and innovation. It also allows us to discover things about ourselves and life that we otherwise wouldn't have known. So yes, we do tend to gravitate towards people, group situations, friends that share our core values. One thing here it says is our core values are not something we only find within ourselves, but we do find it in others as well. And it's a boundary that we don't allow others to cross or to violate. So it's important to note that whatever your values are, you're living them and you're giving those, showcasing those to others, but that you're receiving the same thing and that you're not putting yourself in situations where you're not able to be true to those values or that the boundaries are being crossed, and maybe you're just miserable, and that definitely is not setting you up for happiness in your life. So my challenge to you is to think about that. I hope you took notes as we went through it. If not, go back, listen to what they are, then do some self-reflection on truly for you, what are your core values? What do you want to be known for? What do you need in your life to make sure that you're fulfilled, that you're living with purpose, that, you're building the happiness, the joy every day that you need to build or that you want to build. Because again, at the end of the day, you've heard me say it, when you look in that mirror, you have to be happy with yourself. And if you're not, then go back and think about, okay, what's off? Where am I off in my path? And how do I get back on track? What do I need to do better? So take the love languages quiz from the last month, and just really do a great self-reflection for you and for those around you in your circle so that all of you can help each other build that happiness and build that joy so that you can end up having the happiest new year and keep that going month after month. So that's that for today. I'll leave you there. I so look forward to the next time we get together. Thank you again for being here in this conversation. Take care of yourself, and God bless.